You're about to watch a Trains Newswire video. If you enjoy what you see, consider watching some of our other full-length videos. Hotspots, Horseshoe Curve, Tehachapi, Chicago Racetrack, and more. Locomotive, the video companion to our best-selling special issue. And a special collection from documentary producer Rich Lassen. All these and more are available from our website, kalmbachhobbystore.com.
Good morning, Trains readers. It is Friday, May 25th. I'm Brian Schmidt.
I'm David Lassen.
Shall we kick it off for him today? All right, let's do this. We have news. We both had the CP labor dispute. You've got a little bit more detail, I think.
Just that sometime today we're going to find out about voting results on the contracts that the CP unions were basically forced by government ruling to vote on. It was CP's last offer that prevented a strike that was supposed to have started on April 21st. When we find out those results, and it's likely they will reject the contract offers, then they say they want to renegotiate, or they could set a new strike date. But it's a fairly significant day for CP, I think. And
this is a process that's been going on for a couple of weeks or months, right?
Yeah, the voting's been going on for 2 weeks.
Okay, okay. The Canadian used to be a CP train, so let's jump into the Canadian.
Yes. If any of you are seeing this, happen to be passengers on the Canadian right now, the westbound, our condolences. The Canadian is running almost 2 full days late right now. It was due in Vancouver around 9:45 Wednesday morning. It's not there yet. It left Toronto 26 hours late because the previous inbound was quite late and they needed some time to turn it. And it's just been losing time ever since.
I'm going to call this a record, and I'll let our readers dispute that in the comments.
I'd be happy to find out if it isn't a record, just what the record is, that's for sure. But I think they're working toward the goal of being later than the entire trip actually takes. And since it's a 3.5 day trip, that will be quite an accomplishment.
We'll see if they get stopped out there in the Thompson River Canyon anymore. Yeah.
One of the reason, of course, that this happens even worse than, say, it does with Amtrak is that VIA, unlike Amtrak, has no statutory right of preference. So Canadian National is free to put the Canadian on a siding anytime it needs to let the freight traffic pass. And clearly it does that quite a bit.
I heard a saying once, I won't say from who, but it's more value for your transportation dollar.
Yeah, yeah. You're getting 6 or 7 days for the price of 4.
What happier news? Do you have anything?
Well, there's, I don't know about happier. Well, there is one. BART today is debuting its new extension to Antioch, California. This is a really unusual operation for them in that, unlike the rest of the system, it is a 10-mile line using DMU train sets. It will connect to the rest of the system, but it's kind of an oddball in its grand scheme of things. We have a reporter there. We'll be having a report on that showing up on Newswire sometime later today.
Wonderful, wonderful. For the rail fans out there, let's talk about a Southern Railway painted locomotive that you can go chase. It's in the Midwest. It's a former Mesabi rebuilt, like SD 7918. It's called an SDM now, which makes it rare. It's on a short line in the Midwest. You can find out where you can go see it, of course, on Trains Newswire, but it looks really sharp with the black and white tuxedo scheme on the Southern. And we also have word today that the Cumbres and Toltec will be kicking off its season this year with double-headed trains out of Chama. And you can get the details on that. Go see 4 engines under steam at once on the narrow gauge. All that on Trains Newswire.
Probably my favorite rail fan line is the Cumbres and Toltec. Highly recommended.
I enjoyed it most out of all the train rides on the Train 75th Colorado tour. A couple years ago. Was it 2015 we did that? 3 years ago now. But I thought that was just the best ride with the best change in scenery. You could tell you were going somewhere. So.
By the way, we have one more of those tours coming up. It's not quite sold out yet. It's an autumn tour, so you get fall colors plus steam trains in Colorado. You can find information about that on the train's website as well.
Who's going to go on that from the train staff?
That's going to be me this year.
So you get fall colors and David Lassen.
Yeah, well, take the good with the bad. So,
do you have anything else for us today?
Just one last thing I would mention because it's kind of unusual. There was a ruling in an Oregon court this week. A 15-year-old who set a fire has been ordered to pay $36 million in restitution. This is a railroad story because $1 million of that would go to the Union Pacific for a trestle that got burned up in it. Now, I don't think there's any real expectation that the kid will ever actually pay the entire $36 million, but just out of curiosity, I did some figuring. If right now he went and got a minimum wage job, say flipping burgers someplace, at the Oregon minimum wage of $10.25 an hour, and he gave every dollar he made to pay this, it would only take him 1,717 years to pay off the entire bill. So
there might be some overtime in his future, then, is what you're saying.
I think he would probably gladly take some.
All right, well, for all of us at Trains, have a good day.
See you next week.